At the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues in New York City, Indigenous people from around the world gather to discuss the challenges of implementing UNDRIP and the responsibilities of member states, including the Quebec-Labrador AFN Regional Chief.
We're always, as First Nation, participate in a good way, in good faith in this relationship with Quebec and Canada, but it's not always the case.
In Labrador, a roadblock was set up by Innu community members, which prevented workers from entering the site to conduct a geological assessment on behalf of Quebec Hydro for a proposed hydroelectric project. Jerome Jack Achish is from the Sheheshit Innu Nation. He was at Gull Island, where the Innu of Sheheshit and Natwashish gather every year in September to return to the land. The roadblock was about 2 kilometers away. He said community members are protecting the Innu lands.
Because we don't need the companies need us. Because this is Innu land, we're proud of it, and we're going to protect it. I'll protect it. Hopefully when I'm passed and gone, there's going to be more Innu people protecting our land as well.
Last August in New Brunswick, about 200 people gathered in the Elsipogtuk Mi'kmaq Nation. They attended the first Comic-Con to be held in a Mi'kmaq Nation. Adam Beach was one of the guest celebrities. Fans lined up to take photos and get his autograph. Beach hoped ElsiCon inspires young Indigenous filmmakers to defy stereotypes.
Growing up, I've wanted to see superheroes. I wanted to be in comic books. And there are Native heroes, but I've wanted something more than that. I wanted to include the Indigenous history, the language.
Last fall in Nova Scotia, Mi'kmaq land protectors seized the wood from 3 logging trucks. They wanted clear-cutting to stop on Hunter's Mountain and said it's destroying the moose habitat, water flow, and traditional medicines. They set up a camp with a checkpoint to protect the forest this past September. Weeks later, the Nova Scotia provincial government passed Bill 127 that makes it illegal to block or impede access to forest roads. But that did not deter the Mi'kmaq.
I won't quit, Tim Houston. I won't quit. My people won't quit. We're not going anywheres. Nsidnogama.
A month later, the province announced a crackdown on reserve cannabis shops. As a result, Sabaganagati First Nation banned Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston and 2 ministers from their community. And shortly afterwards, Chief Michelle Glasgow and Council announced it is time to start an Aboriginal title claim.
You may think it's going to be easy, but you ain't met us. You ain't met Mi'kmaq when we're fighting for something we believe in.
Houston defended the cannabis crackdown at a press conference, calling it a health safety issue.
I've talked to people in law enforcement have told me in this province that they've taken illegal cannabis from unregulated illegal dispensaries and tested it and found that it was laced with traces of fentanyl. So, you know, sometimes I hear, I don't buy from the government supply because I don't get the same buzz. Well, that's probably why.
But the Nova Scotia RCMP and the Halifax Police said they are not aware of any fentanyl found in any cannabis seized from illegal storefronts in the province. Chief Tamara Young said Houston was undermining Mi'kmaq sovereignty and called for an apology.
We know that he's been constantly attacking the Mi'kmaq, and now I feel like our concerns and what we were saying, they are now validated.
That is some of the stories from 2025. Wishing everyone safe and happy holidays, and see you in the new year. Angel Moore, APTN National News, Jabuktuk, also called Halifax.